guys, how y'all doing? So, it's been a while since I've put a video up. So today I thought I'd just show you what we've been doing over at our actual plot, over our actual farm. But this is one of our other plots of lands that we have. I've come over really early this morning just to pick some eggplants. We've got some Italian peppers to pick. The beans, broad beans, they're doing really well. They're starting to flower now. But yeah, we've got some onions, we've got some chilies down the bottom down there. So yeah, we're just gonna get this picked and then we're gonna head back to the farm and I'll show you what's going on over there. So guys, there you have it. We've got a whole crate of eggplant aubergines and we've got a good harvest of Italian peppers. We have picked them quite small this time of year, so we don't let them go much further because they end up going rotten, getting eaten. So this time of year we just pick what we can. But yeah, there we go. So guys, we picked them. We're gonna head back over to our farm. But before we do that, this is the 13th of November. 13th of November, guys. We've still got peppers growing. We've still got eggplant growing. We've got onions in. So let's go. Just have a wander around. I'll show you. So this has been used this year as like an overflow field from our actual farm. So anything that we've had left when we've planted out at ours, we've planted here. So we've got a row of onions, white onions, and then we've got some cauliflowers, some Brussels sprouts, which seem to be getting eaten here. It's crazy because over there we've got some more sprouts and they've not been eaten. We have got a few sunflowers that we just chucked in. They're popping up. November, we've got sunflowers coming up. Whether they'll come to anything, I don't know. Obviously the eggplants, which are still producing like really well, and they're producing nice eggplants. And then we've got the padron peppers here, which I've just picked. They're starting to go over a bit now. Same with the Italian peppers. Some are looking really healthy. For some reason, in the middle there, nothing ever does well. We seem to think, when I was speaking to the owner of the land, that this might actually have had a pump house or something in the middle there. And when they've demolished it, obviously, the cement's in the ground. So that's probably why. Brussels sprouts, these are left over. We've got loads of Brussels sprouts over at our farm. And these are all broad beans. But we did have cucumbers planted in here before the broad beans. And we have cucumbers self-seeded. So we'll leave them in. No, something might come of them. We're starting to get a few flowers on. So yeah, we'll leave them in and see what happens with them. But yeah, as you can see guys, all in all, we've still got plenty of peppers on there. So we'll leave them on for next week. We'll harvest them when they get a bit bigger. And then down here, we've got Carolina Reapers, which are still giving off loads of fruit. So yeah, the idea is with this plot of land is we're going to extend the rows right up to the end. And we'll be planting a lot more in here. This is next summer is going to be a whole squash field. So all this will be squash here next year. So yeah guys, right, let's head back. I'll show you what's going on over at ours. We've got a lot of weeding to do over at ours. This plot looks absolutely fantastic. Really clean, really tidy. The farm, not so much. So let's get locked up and get out of here. So guys, we're back at the farm. So we're gonna have a quick look around. I'll show you. There's been quite a few changes really since last time we had a look around. But just before we do, all the flowers on these orange trees, mandarin trees, I think they are. But yeah, for some unknown reason, they went into flower in early spring like they normally do. Normally by now we've got absolutely tons of oranges on here, mandarins. As you can see, there's none on. We've got probably three, 4. Those are the only ones that I've seen out of the whole of these trees. Now I'm putting it down to we had a really wet spring, so maybe they didn't get pollinated. And then it was like overnight, someone just switched a switch and it just went red hot for months on end. It's only really just started cooling down. So yeah, they've all gone into flower again. So I don't think we're going to get much of a harvest off these trees this year. But the orange trees are doing well. These mandarin trees, not too great, no. But you never know, we might get an early crop in the spring off them. But yeah, we'll wait and see. So guys, let's have a look at the farm. So, as you can see from last time, there has been some quite big changes. We've cleared all the beans from this area now. We've got planted some kale in there. We've got a few pepper plants left. The idea was to have a lot of banana trees there, but they all died. It was just too hot this summer, I think, and they just didn't like it. Or the ground was too wet because of the way we water here. But yeah, we've got some rows of radishes, which we've been picking. These are some really nice. Let's see if I can find one. Yeah, that one's a bit beaten up, but yeah, there is some really nice radishes in there. And then we've just planted another row there, because we're planting radishes about every 2 weeks now. We've got beetroot and we've got some Swiss chard, which we've just transplanted. So it's starting to stand back up. It's been in the ground a couple of days now. It's starting to stand back up. What we need to do is we need to go around, just take all the big leaves off and just let it sprout back. So going down here, we've changed this, so we've got a little outdoor sort of kitchen area. We like to have barbecues out here. Sebastian's toys are absolutely everywhere. We've got all our seed trays in there, and then we've got the rotavator, which is actually going back, because I don't know if you can see on camera, but we've had a few problems with it. The latest one is the framework has snapped and the head gasket's gone on it. So yeah, my advice is, if you want something that's robust, don't buy one of these, because the company's really good, really helpful, but if you want something to use all the time, yeah, don't buy one. So we've got, this is the last of the hyacinth beans, Chinese beans, lab beans. There are about 10 different names for them. What we're doing now is we're still picking a few just for ourselves. These we're just using for stir fry. They're really good for stir fries, but what we're doing now is we're leaving them to sort of go over seed, and then in a couple of weeks time we'll pull all this down, we'll take all the seed pods off, and they'll be our seeds for next year. Going through into like a little seating area that we have, we've got cardoons growing. We've just separated some, so we've got some down there that have just been separated. We've got these ones which we've left in, and then round to here we've got some more cardoons just going round. We've got a couple of rosemary plants, a curry plant which smells absolutely amazing. This thing is I can never pronounce it. Let's see, I'll have to snap the name off. It is yeah, one of them. It's one of them. So we planted this in March and it was about this high. So since March this year it has grown all the way over the pergola, and then we've had to build frameworks to go up to the shed and over to the chicken pen. And we've got a few new bird boxes that we put up because they worked really well this year. This is a really great pollinator. The bees love it. It's still swarming. It's not today because the weather's not great, but if you come out here on a sunny day, all you can hear is the bees buzzing around in it. It's a really heavy plant now. I don't know whether it'll show up on camera. It's actually, the reason we've had to put the framework up is it started to push the whole pergola over. So we put this framework up to try to keep the pergola in one place. So, going out onto the main growing area, we've got, the chickens have cleared all the corn. I don't know if you've been with us a while, you'll know that we had a big corn maze in there. We've opened it all up. We've taken them out of here, we've thrown a load of grass seed down, put some straw down in there. So hopefully that'll grow. We've got the Nespero tree, which is doing really well. We're actually going to be moving this, we're going to be putting it into a big pot for reasons in the future. Going into the garden, we've got the peas that I sown in cells, and they seem to be doing quite well. Everything needs weeding. But yeah, we just need to get like a bit of a framework in for them now to get them growing up. But we're starting to get the first flowers coming through. And then we've got fennel running down there. It's all coming really nicely now. We've got the bulbs starting to come up on the fennel. And then down here, we've got our celery, row celery in there. So we've sort of toned down the planting here. So we're just, after all this comes out, we're going to just be planting like quick crops, or crops that'll like grow back. So like chard, radishes, stuff like that. Yeah, the kale, stuff that we can just harvest over and over again. And we're going to be moving a lot of the like head crops, so your broccoli, your cauliflower, your cabbages and stuff, is all going to be moving over to one of our other plots of land. So in this row we have got broccoli, which is being eaten like crazy this year. I don't think the weeds are helping. We will get round to giving this a good weed. We have started, but we've got to there and then we got rained out. So we've got that. We've got the red cabbage, which is growing absolutely lovely. So guys, these are our sprouts, which as you can see are going absolutely crazy. There's no sign. We've got some very small little sprouts starting to appear on them, so hopefully we might get sprouts for Christmas. In this area we used to have the fence, which used to run down sort of the side of these sprouts here, and last year we had chard in here and we left it to go to seed, and as you can see the seeds have germinated. So now we've got tons and tons of rainbow chard, and all we've been doing is we're just going along, pulling them out so you get good root on them like that, and then we're just transplanting them, and we're literally just transplanting them just to fill any areas over there. It'll all get used. So yeah, this is why this area's not been weeded yet, because we're still pulling out the chard here. These are the Merthian cabbages, and these are absolutely huge. We grew a couple last year. This year we've grown, I think there's 80 that we've put in. But these grow absolutely massive. I'll stick a picture up now of me and Sebastian last year with the ones that we grew. But yeah, they're coming along absolutely great, and they don't seem, there's a little bit of like caterpillar damage, slug damage, but not as much as what's on like the broccoli and the red cabbage. They seem to be getting attacked just a little bit more than these do. Obviously we've took the fence down, which then gave us scope to extend out into the lemon trees. So we've extended out into the lemon trees. We've planted believe it or not, it doesn't look it, but up there and then along the top, there's 40,000 onions, white onions. So we planted them. That was definitely a job in itself. That took forever. But yeah, we've got the onions all planted up along the top, and then we've got red cabbage here. And then these were actually given to us by a friend. Now, most of them have been eaten, but there's some, if I remember rightly, there was dinosaur kale and sprouting broccoli. I think it was. They were just given to us by a friend, and we just sort of put them in the end of this row. As you can see, a lot of them have been eaten, but that one's still coming along nicely, which to me looks like kale. But we'll wait and see. It might be broccoli. We used to have pumpkins. During the summer we had pumpkins growing down here, and when we pulled them all out, I left this one. Didn't know whether it'd do much, but middle of November and we're still getting pumpkins. Whether they'll come, they should do, because we get enough sun over here. If not, we'll put them in a sunny spot once they reach the right size. So guys, that's the video. We have got a bit of work to do, weeding, which we're going to crack on with over the weekend now. And then we're probably going to put just another video together, just generally what we're up to over the weekend, weeding, transplanting, stuff like that. Yeah, and then I will see you guys on the next one, which hopefully will be next week. Get back into rhythm with it. If you're not already, follow us on Instagram, Facebook for more updates. We update a lot on there. And if you're not, go down, hit that subscribe button, guys. You know, keep an eye out for what's coming over the next 12 months, because there's going to be some big changes.